What's up? What's up? It's time to let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Segments talking about Michelle Dowd. Who Michelle Dowd is? She recently wrote a book. It's probably been about a year ago, but she's basically going around talking about her book. And she was on the Joe Rogan's podcast, which I watch other podcasts to get an idea what's going on. And on top of that, she spoke on how she was raised in a cult, born and raised in a cult in the woods or the forest outside of California, and how they used the word the Bible against her, and that was the way of actually controlling the narrative and actually manipulating the people. And I had to show you this because this goes in line of what I'm talking about tonight and talking about studying the word. There's some other stuff that goes along with it. So let's look at this clip real quick, and then we're going to talk about this segment. Let me pull it up.
He got some sort of probably church education when he got here, and he declared to everyone he was the prophet of God. He was going to live 500 years, and he was going to lead the army of God in the second coming.
Wow. That's your grandpa.
That's my grandpa. Where I come from, this is a grave sin, by the way.
Oh, a woman smoking a cigar or anyone?
Anyone smoking
Anyone?
a cigar.
Are you allowed to
Especially
drink
one
coffee?
Yes.
What was the rules?
Well, coffee's interesting because I don't know that they said out loud you could drink coffee, but I don't remember it being forbidden. That the body is the temple of God, and that there's no marking your body with ink, no piercing your ear. I know. I have a lot of ink myself. I wasn't sure if I should show it off. And
No piercing the ears.
right, no piercing the ears.
What about makeup?
No makeup when I was young. They also unusually cut off women's hair, at least during the era that I was there. Now there was
Cut it off like a boy's hair?
Yes. My mom had the exact same haircut since she got married until she died. The exact same haircut. She died in 2022. Yeah. So just a lot of the femininity was considered a temptation to the boys. And since it was supposed to be, they thought it was better to, burn in hell than to lust after a woman. And they quoted some stuff from Paul, in the apostles and the epistles. And
The thing about Michelle that really touched me, and I was studying this late the other night, and the really thing that got to me about it, looking at it, was it's a lot that happens in the body of Christ that people follow these different things. And it's another word that I'm going to bring up later that's going to help us. And I need y'all to sound off in the comments. But have you ever been or experienced this type of cultic relationship or religion where it's just so much stuff that you can't do that you miss God, and to the point that what she had to do, she had to use her survival instincts to get out of this cult. And remember, her grandfather was the one that was over this cult. He was doing this before she was even born. And then the thing about it is, he believed he was the Christ and said he was going to live for 500 years and was giving them dates of the last day, and the day would never happen. And of course, he would have an excuse for all that. So just to say all of that is to say, we follow stuff and don't know what we're in. But then at the same time, we follow stuff, and then when we get older and we realize what's going on, and we try to get an understanding, when we don't have a biblical truth behind it or a bedrock principle for it, we see things in only a way that someone taught us. Now, we can't go against the person that taught us or think they were wrong because they're teaching all they know. But then the other thing about it is sometimes someone uses this to actually control you or manipulate you. So I'm saying all that to say, are you in something that's actually controlling you, actually manipulating you, or are you actually in something that's actually glorifying God? And the person is not the idol, but God is who you're idolizing. God is the person who you're putting first. And I say that because I want us to always think back of what we're doing, what we're into, and what we're following, and make sure that it's for the glory of God. I say this also because when I do these Let's Talk About It segments, you have to remember I'm not just speaking just strictly to the church. When this goes out to social media, the metaverse, this is to everybody. So when it's to everybody, I can't just speak just for my fellow Christians. I can't just speak to my fellow, basically break down to a denomination. I can't just speak to my fellow people that's in my only denomination, talking to everyone. So you have to look at this and think about it from a different standpoint and get outside your bubble and look at it that way. So speaking of the bubble, that's what we're going to be talking about. So let me go over here and let's speak. Let's dig into that. Let's dig into that for a sec.